Hello, welcome to another edition of Bars to Bricks Prison Ministries. I'm your favorite felon, the Rev. Dr. Kev. Today we're going to talk about the addiction and the psychology of it, and I'm going to give some people an example that I think a lot of people, maybe who haven't been able to understand addiction in the past, might be able to grasp how addiction controls a person. So that's going to be interesting. Before we get into this, please like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to hear from you. What do you got to say? What do you know about addiction? What's your experiences? What's your story? Do you have a recovery story? Let's hear it. Let's hit me up. Let's get you on the channel. Let's get your testimony, your story out there, man. That's an inspiration for other people. So if you've overcome addiction, please let me know and let's get your story out. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit. So bear with me here. Take in a big breath and hold it. Now I'm going to believe and trust that you're holding your breath right now. And at this point, it's easy to listen, pay attention, and even wonder why I'm asking you to do this. But at some point, you will start to get uncomfortable. You will think about and strongly, even urgently desire oxygen. And eventually, maybe it's now, you will need oxygen. Your brain will demand it. You won't be listening to me at all. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. You have to take a breath. Well, if you're still holding your breath, that's impressive. But it's hard, and for all of us, eventually impossible. Now imagine that the only way for you to get oxygen would be for you to steal money from your family to buy the oxygen, or spend so much time trying to find oxygen that you lose your job and distance yourself from friends. You may not even want to do these things, but in order to take that breath that you have to have, you can't think about anything else until you do so. It becomes about survival. You'll quit your job, steal, sacrifice relationships to get oxygen. You know you don't want to do these things, but you're in a situation where that breath is really the only important thing. When you finally did take that breath of oxygen, I bet you didn't feel high or on top of the world or anything like that, did you? Instead, you probably felt normal again, like a huge stressor was relieved. That's the process of addiction, with craving and time spent in getting the next use despite negative consequences. This example is meant to momentarily put you in the shoes of someone with a substance abuse disorder, which in essence is the very definition of empathy. Because as people are addicted and we deal with their attitudes, behaviors, and stuff like that as they go through the addiction process, sometimes it's hard. We just want to cut strings, we want to cut ties, push them to the side. But yet, it's hard, especially with some family members. And I emphasize, as a former addict myself, I emphasize. Um, I can relate, but I know some people who have never faced any addiction problems, or what they consider addiction problems, because there's a lot of people who smoke cigarettes every day, but look down on someone that's addicted to alcohol or some sort of a drug, but yet they're still addicted to a drug themselves, technically. And I mean, I don't know why it is we want to cut everybody down anyway. That don't help anybody. Why don't from now on, instead of cutting people down for their shortcomings and for their addictions and their problems and stuff, why don't we try to help them? Try to give, I don't mean give people a handout, I mean give them a hand up. You know, that I don't mean help them by giving money to go buy another sack. I mean help them, be there as a friend, be there for support, help them through whatever needs, get the pleas to them that you want your family member back, your loved one back, and what it's doing to the family. Because sometimes when you're deep into addiction, you don't even really notice it. You don't really notice it. And I'll tell you, one of the most hurtful things you'll hear as a parent was if you're an addict, especially if you're an addict, end up in prison, your kids are going to tell you that those drugs are more important than them. That'll break your heart. When your child tells you that, asks you why were those drugs more important than me? Why did you love them more than me? And while we say we love our kids more than anything in the world, we have to be realistic. At that time, methamphetamines was my love. It topped everything. Not intentionally, but I had to have that breath of oxygen. Until I learned how to breathe on an alternative source, live with a different kind of, without, you know, the drug. That is kind of a bad snare as far as like replacement, because you don't really replace a drug with a drug. In some theories, there are some theories that addiction is tied to a brain disorder, a psychological disorder, or whatever. So there is some medicational therapies that, because there's many theories on addiction, and each one is that because none of it have been scientifically proven. But I can guarantee you this: a lot of people that think it's a choice, it's not a choice. It might be at first, but you lose control quick, and it's not a choice. I hope this video reaches somebody today. I hope maybe this video even reaches somebody that's struggling with addiction, especially hope someone's struggling with addiction. And this is going to be the moment that you want to change. You want to turn your life, you want to get clean, and you want to be there for your family. If you need help with that, contact me. I will help you. If you're not in my area, I will find resources and stuff in your area. We can video chat. We can chat over Messenger, whatever. Talk on the phone. I will help you through the process. It's not an easy process, but I'll help you. Thank you, everybody. God bless. I wanted this just to be a little short video on addiction and the psychology of it, and so maybe people could get a better understanding of the addicted mind. And it's a shame because we lose people to some of these drugs. Fentanyl is a bad epidemic. It's a serious problem. If you're addicted or know someone that is, please get help or help them get help before it's too late. Thank you very much, and God bless. And I want to dedicate this video in memory of Amanda, Judy's granddaughter that passed away just a month ago. Her passing hasn't been determined as far as I know what the exact cause. It wasn't an overdose, but she faced addiction for a long time, and it put her in some of the situations in the crowds that she was in. Don't be the next person that loses a loved one, or be that loved one that someone loses. Get help today. Thank you, and God bless. I'm the Rev. Dr. Kev, and I'm out.